Indy 11 Soccer is brought to you by Community Health. Dream big, work hard, finish strong. Community Health Sports Medicine, official sports medicine provider of the Indy 11. And by your Central Indiana Honda dealers, proud to be the official automotive sponsor of the Indy 11. Back home again in Indiana for the Indy 11. Their place in the table hasn't changed. In fact, it has improved since they were last here on June 1st. Briefly, the Indy 11 were second a week ago. With other results, they have slipped back to fourth, trying to keep pace with first place Tampa Bay. Now for Atlanta United, too, got off to a very good start this season, but as we referenced going into our first commercial break, they have not won since April the 13th. Alongside Brad Hodder, Greg Rakestraw, thank you so much for joining us for Indy 11 Soccer. I guess we should mention it is Grateful Dead night. Indy 11 fans are grateful that Tyler Pasher has been healthy this season. What a difference maker he's been.
Yeah, he's been fantastic. You take a look at total package. You know, he's got pace, and the pace spans 90 minutes because he keeps himself so fit. But he's not just a pacey player. He's creative, and he's got such a will to win.
He's had a knack for late, important goals as well. Game winners at home against both Pittsburgh and the Charleston Battery. A road goal a couple of weeks ago. Perfect team buildup against Memphis 901.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, some of the separation, his first touch gets him into the position where he's allowed to use his pace.
And again, the game winner last week, following up the rebound from Dane Kelly, perfectly timed the run and finds the open net to give Indy the full 3 road points. Pasher, a key part of the starting lineups, presented by Honda Manufacturing of Indiana, the official automotive sponsor of the Indy 11. Not a typo, Brad Hodder. Ioze on the right side of the attack tonight for Indy.
I'll tell you, it's good to see him back in the starting lineup, and great to have him back on the field.
On the flip side now for Atlanta United 2. They have had 33 different players feature for them this year. They are a developmental squad. Their average age, 22. By the way, Pogba, number 20. Yes, that is Paul Pogba's older brother, Florentine, 28 years of age. He is also the oldest player on the pitch for AU2 tonight.
Yeah, excited to have him in the building.
It is great to be back in the building, and we thank you for joining us for Indy 11 Soccer here on My Indy TV and ESPN Plus. The first of 2 matchups between these two sides this season. The return date, September the 25th. In the northern suburbs of Atlanta, Kennesaw State University is where they play their home matches this year. AU2, this in their second season. Last year when these two teams played, Indy 11 got a 2-0 victory here in June. In late August, they had a 1-1 draw in a match that was played in Gwinnett, which is where AU2 played their home matches a season ago. Kind of indicative of what Atlanta United 2 has been. The game-tying goal that night was scored by a young man making his USL debut at the time, who was 18 years of age.
Incredible.
And that will be a foul as Enevoldsen gets sent to the turf. And it allows us a chance to introduce you to our match referee tonight. Eligio Araguin is our lead official this evening. John Krill, Christopher Slane, the line's people, and Luke Sabota is our 4th official for tonight's contest. All played to Mitch Osmond. Mitch playing his 5th match of the season, his 4th consecutive start. And his entry into the lineup is notable because of the absence of Neviel Hackshaw, out again tonight for the Indy 11, while being a part of the Gold Cup roster for Trinidad and Tobago. Offside flag goes up on the ball played to Kim Do-yoon. Neviel missing tonight's game, but perfectly healthy. Others are not. The injury report brought to us by Community Health Sports Medicine, official sports medicine provider of the Indy 11. Now, Ilya Illich is actually in the 18 this evening. We do not expect him, though, to play in tonight's contest. And Evan Newton will miss a 2nd consecutive week due to a groin injury suffered in that victory against Memphis some 2 weeks ago. The hope is that he may be back as of next weekend when the Indy 11 play host to Louisville City. And Indy does have a midweek match on Wednesday here against Birmingham Legion, another brand new club here in the USL Championship.
You know, it's interesting how life works out. Sometimes you take a look at the red card by Evan Newton that forced Jordan Farr into action in the Open Cup game. He doesn't have that start. He may not be quite as comfortable here. You know, he's got his first professional minutes, his first professional start. All that stuff helps a young goalkeeper.
And that is important to point out. This is the first time that Farr has played in this building. So his Open Cup game happened at the Butler Bowl, at the Selleck Bowl on the campus of Butler University. He then got the start against Pittsburgh in Open Cup play. We'll finish that thought in a moment.
What a touch.
Kelly off to the races. Kelly could not slide it by. Dane Kelly factored into the first goal last week for Indy 11, but was ruled an own goal. Pasher, as he is so wont to do, takes it down the left side, and a corner kick coming in minute 4 for the Indy 11.
What a great save. But I tell you what, Dekas keeps Kelly on, and Pogba stops. He's thinking that he's offsides. He raises his hand, but Dekas kept him on.
Dylan Castanera makes the save. 24 years old, from New Jersey, played his college soccer at Columbia University. They have used 3 different keepers this year, have AU2. This is his 8th match of the season. Punched it away, but didn't sweep it cleanly. Walker, Ioze, and he'd like to have that one back. Iose looking for his first goal this season.
Clever touch by Kenny Walker.
We referenced Castanera. We were talking about Jordan Farr. This is a young man that played an NAIA level of college soccer, was on the roster last year, was listed as the backup in a handful of matches, but a shoulder surgery cost him his season. So made his professional debut, as Brad was alluding to, in U.S. Open Cup play on May 15th against Lansing United. He came in for an injured Evan Newton 2 weeks ago in Memphis. Did allow 1 goal last week against Loudoun United, but that was such a beautiful strike by Matthew Lubon. There was nothing that Jordan Farr could do about that one. Foul whistle. There you see Kenny Walker. Kenny has 4 assists on the year. One of the 4 players that made the move up I-74 from a season ago from FC Cincinnati. What a great addition he has been. Of course, 3 weeks ago here, it was his rocket from outside of the box that really jump-started this Indy 11 offense.
Incredible. 1 touch, bouncing ball, upper corner.
Ioze, now that he is back in the lineup, expecting to take all corners, all set pieces. This was his calling card a season ago. 4 goals and the team leader in assists for Io. Barrett. Now Osman. Good combination play. Wamet. How about that? Your 3 defenders combining on that play, trying to set up a goal-scoring opportunity.
Yeah, and snuck it right into the only pocket that was available.
Laurent Kissadou trying to lead the counter for Atlanta United 2.
They
Good
do
ball
have
here.
some pace.
But offside flag was up. You can live with that mistake if you're
Absolutely.
head coach Stephen Glass for Atlanta United 2. It has been a struggle for this Atlanta United 2 team this season. They have largely been competitive up until their last match, where they got drilled 5-0. They have allowed 26 goals on the season. Off to an outstanding start. They do have 1 road victory this year, and coming back in April against Memphis 901. Look at Martin Rennie, second-year man in charge of the Indy 11, former head coach of the Vancouver Whitecaps in Major League Soccer. And he and Stephen Glass know each other very well. Both coaches tonight are Scotsmen. And I'm not just thinking because they're both from Scotland they know each other, but Martin and Stephen were connected with the Carolina Railhawks back in 2011. That was the year that Martin left Carolina, now known as North Carolina FC, to take the Vancouver job in August of that year. Barrett leading the attack here for Indy. Patty venturing a bit farther forward tonight for Indy. And now a foul whistled against Tyler Gibson. With that, time for our Keys the Match, brought to us by your Central Indiana Honda dealers. the official automotive sponsor of the Indy 11, come out on fire, Mr. Hodder.
Absolutely. The 11 is hot right now. You want to keep that streak going. You want to keep the pace of the game, but also you take a look at Atlanta, and they gave up 3 goals in the first 15 minutes against Pittsburgh last week. This is a psychological advantage if the 11 could come out and put them under that same kind of pressure. Also complicated Atlanta's reads. You got a young back line, and if you can move that ball, not just in straight lines, but give them difficult decisions, ho, ho, ho.
And that's just a bit of a foul from Okonkwo. That's not cool against a player that's a field player, let alone the keeper.
Yeah, no, that was a little bit obvious.
Just a tad.
And then for Atlanta, the couple keys that they have, they got to be clean in the back. You look at the goals against Pittsburgh last week. It was an own goal. It was a rebound left in the box. It was an unmarked guy in the 6. It was a corner kick. A lot of just defensive mistakes that they've got to clean up. And then the second thing is they've got to stay away from restarts in the back line. When you're playing against a team that's on fire like the 11 is, and you haven't won since April 13th, it's important not to give free looks on goal.
Barrett takes a tumble. Farr elects to let it go, and it will be a corner coming up for it. They'll throw it. Late change of signal. Throw in now for Atlanta United 2. So Farr in his limited minutes so far this year has allowed 2 goals. One in the Open Cup loss to Pittsburgh on May 29th, and again that tremendous strike. I thought I saw a signal for a throw-in. We're now seeing a corner is being set up for here, so my apologies. Metcalf will take it for Atlanta. Good delivery. Gibson trying to clear it. Walker could not do the same. Good looking ball here. Okonkwo, the target is a bit too strong, and good job by Ouimet.
Yeah, that's a tough ball for a goalkeeper, because you don't know, can you play the serve, or do you have to, you got to stay central just in case they get a nick on that ball in the 6.
Trying to find Ayoze out wide. Great touch by Ayo. And reluctant to call his own number. He's a guy that looks to distribute first. Was letting that play develop. And then Enevoldsen and Walker not on the same page.
That's just a ridiculous touch to bring that down, that kind of a ball under that pressure.
We are used to his precision passing, his exquisite touches on the field. His second year with the Indy 11. Spent the previous 4 years to that playing for the New York Cosmos as a rival to the Indy 11. And now a whistle called against Okonkwo. And Bear with a little bit of a shove, and that's not necessary. And he'll now get a talking to before the restart. Of course, we saw Patty exit a game early for the Indy 11 this year. That was the May 1st tussle with the Tampa Bay Rowdies. And saw Patty pick up a couple of yellow cards in the first 20 minutes. And nice little gesture saying, hey.
Yep, and that's the edge you get. You love the toughness that he brings to the game. You're not going to get an easy ball if you're going in 50-50, even if you're going in 60-40 or 70-30. Patty Barrett's going to make you work for it.
Tonight's match presented by Community Health Sports Medicine. Dream big, work hard, and finish strong. This Indy 11 team has scored 4 goals at home this year. Osmond racing over. Plays it back to Jordan Farr. And one of those was an own goal. That coming against Hartford Athletic in the home opener back on March 30th. 2 goals scored as Ayoze goes down in a heap as he was cleared out by Guillermo Benitez. Yellow card is going to be shown, and now our concern is for Ayoze. He grabs that knee, and that always worries you.
The tough part about that is it's his plant foot, you know, so even just a little bit of a nudge is enough to do some damage.
That is you hope it's just kind of a knee to knee and nothing more substantial. Those available for substitution for the Indy 11 tonight. Emerson Nieto, one of the players on an academy contract for the Indy 11. Matt Watson, we referenced Ilya Illich, although again I think the preference would be not to play Ilya tonight if possible. Alioune Jahate, Lucas Farias, or Macaulay King. Doctor's out working with Io as well to make sure he is okay. Let's hope he can soldier on. Io making his 10th appearance of the season, as he had missed time since the end of May due to an injury. He is limping but staying on the field as we speak. He is such a creative force for this Indy 11 team. Does have 2 assists this year, does Iose. Again, not as many as he had a year ago. He was the king of the set pieces last year for a team that frankly was a little more skilled from a set piece standpoint, but also very much more reliant on set pieces than this year's group. Give and go between Iose and Kim Do-yoon. Him, the native of South Korea. Ian Olsen tried to flick it forward. Ian Walker couldn't get on the same page. Asher applying defensive pressure for Indy. This is Pogba. Tackle. Advantage played. Played across. A missed opportunity for Atlanta United 2. It will be a corner. And we met the player that is slow to get off the turf for the Indy 11. Atlanta United 2 has a player down inside of the 6. Player slow to get up was Luis Fernando for Atlanta United 2. An advantage was played from that position.
It's a heck of a hit. I can't remember seeing Wimet ever get up slow.
It will be a second corner of the early stages of this match. Again, Wimet, we didn't see him much in April. We referenced that quick exit for Barrett on May 1st. Wimet entered the lineup then and hasn't left since. Fernando plays a low ball, left foot doesn't get through. Corner number 3 coming up here for AU2.
That's a well-designed play. You know, you set it up with the first ball, an in-swinger, and now you've got a guy at the top of the box that's looking to pinch into the space that the 11 has sagged off of. Created a good opportunity.
Now Metcalf will take this one. And before he does, it's whistled away as Iose and Laurent Kisiadou having a little heated exchange. Kisiadou is not responding well to Indy 11 players or his teammates trying to separate him from the situation. Kisiadou appearing in his 8th match of the season, getting his 7th start. Kisiadou was with Atlanta United last year. Before that, with the Charleston Battery, just 20 years of age. This is the second 3-person conversation our match referees had to have in the first 17 minutes.
And that's good. I mean, you've got a young team. You just got beat 5-0 last week. You haven't won since April 13th. You got some frustration that's going there. You can jump on it early. Maybe you prevent something dangerous happening later.
And this is also, and it's a tactic we saw when John Bush was the goalkeeper here with the Indy 11. When you're playing a guy that's a bit smaller. You know, Jordan goes about 6 foot. Evan Newton goes about 6'4". You're going to put as much traffic in front of the keeper as possible. Looking back post. Clears everybody. And Pasher races over and will simply let it cross the sideline for a throw-in. Fan Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the finest leagues in the world. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. For the latest Select products and special offers, visit SelectSportAmerica.com. And that'll be a foul on Kim Do-yoon, and that'll be a yellow. So both teams have now been shown an early yellow in tonight's match. High boot against the native of South Korea. The player that was fouled was Lawrence Wyke for Atlanta United 2. A surprisingly chipping match here in the first 18 minutes.
Number 25, Kim Do-hyun in the 18th minute.
Two-man wall being shown by Indy.
And I think sometimes after a 5-0 victory, the conversations at practice through the week have been elevated, and the demand and the expectation and the accountability is probably raised.
And this ball goes past everybody. Farr had that one read perfectly. Fans, you can show your Indy 11 pride and get your exclusive Indiana Members Credit Union Indy 11 debit card at any Indiana Members Credit Union branch or online at imcu.com today. Iose. Kim Do-hyun making a run. That was his target. Enevoldsen is there for the follow-up. Great turn. Kim goes down, didn't get the call. Five back for the Indy 11. Five charging forward for Atlanta United 2. Good job by Barrett just to hold the man up, to give a little more time. This is Wild trying to latch onto it. This Indy 11 team has given up one home goal this season. One. So we can talk about the fact they haven't been scoring much. They still outscored their opponent by +3, having only scored 4 goals at home all season.
And you look at what makes it even more impressive is how it's done in concert with different bodies. You know, you talk about Hackshaw being gone. We met stepping in recently. You got Farr in for Newton. Patty Barrett was out. You've got all sorts of different changes you're making with Osmond and everything, and you're still able to be that stone cold solid defensively.
Kelly got a boot to it. Not sure why the keeper was backing up on that ball. He got there in time.
Holding my breath on that, but man, he knew what he was doing.
I'm not sure I'd go that far. It worked out for it. Castanera able to play it, and now
maybe that's the reason why.
You learned the second time around, hey, go charge this one. Castanera takes care of business. All is well for Atlanta United too.
And sometimes as a coach, you just shake your head as you're watching things develop.
There's a reason why you don't have any hair anymore. I can understand that.
I thought it was genetics. Now you're saying it's my profession?
Might be a combination, Brett. This portion of the match presented by the Indiana Economic Development Corporation. Take your business to the next level in a state that works. Offside flag is up for the intended target in Okonkwo, the native of Nigeria, for Atlanta United 2. Farr was one of the first players re-signed by the Indy 11 this season. Flag goes up again. That's kind of what Gibson and Wimet were waiting for. And Farr designed to be the backup behind Evan Newton, but Coach Martin Rennie was very confident if Farr was needed that he would be in good stead, and certainly that has been the case so far. This is now his 3rd league appearance, his 5th overall.
Great ball.
Good pressure by Enevoldsen. Could not pick the pocket of Pogba. Had a chance to talk to Thomas for last week's edition of Soccer Saturday on 107.5 FM and 1070 The Fan. Talked about getting to play in a World Cup back in 2010 for Denmark. And if memory serves, I believe that makes him one of 3 Indy 11 players who appeared in a World Cup match. He, Cleverson, Gerardo Torrado. Well-timed run here. Farr got to it. Osmond, as Farr retreats back, trying to get back online. Okonkwo left foot, and Farr is there. And Farr will take this moment to let his heart rate settle just a tad.
I tell you though, he did read it well. I think he came off, and you know, the opportunity is you stay back and you hope it, you know, you've got a recovery run that can help press it and maybe obstruct it, or you come out and you dismantle the attack. And you know, he got there, barely got there, but he got there.
Pasher heading forward into the 18, looking for Ina Voltsen, and ball takes a right turn directly into the path of Castanera.
And there's that first touch of Pasher. Boy, if you catch him out on the edge with that edge defender, his first touch is aggressive around, and it's 5-6 yards in front of him that allows him to use his pace to separate.
Tyler's second year with the Indy 11, limited by injuries a season ago. Ina Voltsen trying to find Kelly. Throw in coming for the Indy 11 as Pogba able to clear it away. Fans, you can follow the Indy 11 and the rest of the USL Championship all season long on ESPN+. Home to the USL, MLS, UFC, and more. Join the over 2 million sports fans who've already discovered ESPN+ and watch the championship live every week. Sign up today at ESPNplus.com. And that's a foul on Ouimet. Got to say, bro, I'm impressed with Atlanta United too so far. They have not played like a team that has struggled as much as they have as of late.
And they have been dangerous on the counterattack. Their pace, their pressure, and the balls that they're sending into the gaps are causing problems for the 11.
Ball played across, and Farr is there. Ball centered by Luis Fernando. Leading goal scorer for Atlanta United 2 this year is Romario Williams. He's had 3 in 5 games. He is not with the team tonight. Offside flag goes up on Kelly. And we haven't had to have this explanation on one of our broadcasts yet this year, but it applies to all these teams that are 2 teams or teams that are operated as developmental squads by a Major League Soccer team. And that is that you've got a variety of players that are signed to USL contracts, players you have access to that are under Major League Soccer contracts, and then a handful of academy players you bring up. They're usually 16, 17, 18 years of age. Williams is one of those players. He is on an Atlanta United contract. So you never quite know exactly whom you are going to see on a night-in, night-out basis as the foul whistled against Lawrence Wyke. Another player we saw here a year ago, and we learned via Twitter we weren't going to see tonight, is John Gallagher, native of Ireland, great player at Notre Dame. He was loaned to Aberdeen this afternoon. He, too, on a Major League Soccer contract, but he had made 8 appearances this season and had scored a goal for Atlanta United, too. Onside is Kelly. Ina Voltsen times, nope, didn't time it out. He was off. Even if he had settled the touch, it would not have mattered. The flag went up.
That's just a great find, though.
Those 2 players have started every league match for the Indy 11. They joined Tyler Gibson in that category. 14 start for each of them. But Gibson is the lone player for the Indy 11 this season that has played every minute of every match so far.
Now, I'll tell you where Atlanta may get into some problems here is Pogba's drawn an offsides line that Dacus and Metcalf are not on the same page, and he's raising his hand every ball that's over the top, and either Metcalf or Dacus has been 5 yards behind him, keeping Kelly on.
Barrett fell hard to the turf. We play on, and Iose couldn't keep that in play. Let's thank our friends at Cliff Bar. Cliff Bar Baking Company in Indianapolis is proud to team up with the Indy 11 to provide meals to IPS students through our Meals for Miles program. Wild trying to size it up. We met. Displaying his shot blocking abilities. We saw that a year ago. That's been a staple of this team this year, most notably Neville Hackshaw, who again we will not see tonight. He could be in action this evening, just not for the Indy 11, potentially for Trinidad and Tobago. Ouimet, and a cross that does cross to the byline. Goal kick coming for Jordan Farr. Neville did not feature in Trinidad and Tobago's lineup in their loss to Panama, their first game of Gold Cup play. And here's Kelly with space to operate. Kelly, a good-looking touch. Kelly couldn't play it across. Well defended. It will be a corner. That's a great play by Wesley Dacus.
That was fantastic, because that odd bounce that first came to Kelly kind of caught both of them mid-stride. With Kelly's pace, he was able to accelerate into that path, and I don't know how Dacus was able to catch up to this and actually get a piece of it.
I'm going to go with youth. He's 19. That's how he caught up.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
So Ioze to the corner flag. He found Carl Ouimet 3 times for a goal last season. Can they connect for a first time this year? Osmond, Barrett also move forward as targets. Looking back post. First head to get to it was Atlanta United. It was Okonkwo. And Walker races forward to at least flick it back to the 18. Flag stayed down. Enevoldsen trying to find a pocket of space. Kim, good touch to Ouimet. Ouimet plays it across. And it will be at another corner for the Indy 11.
I didn't see who it was last time, but somebody almost ripped Ouimet's jersey off on the last corner kick. So they're very aware of the Ioze to Ouimet connection.
He scored against them a year ago, did Ouimet. Was the lone tally in the 1-1 draw at the end of August. Of the 3 goals scored by Indy against Atlanta last year, Ioze had assists on 2 of them. The other coming to Carlisle Mitchell. The 2-0 victory here in early June. By the way, let's thank our friends at Honda Manufacturing of Indiana, official automotive sponsor of the Indy 11, for their support and sponsorship of tonight's match. Good look at Ouimet and Metcalf. Ball got through. Player down to the 6. But nothing there. Enevoldsen, the player that went to the turf but did not get a whistle. Good step here. And now an opportunity. Far off his line and got there. And that's why you charge the ball as a keeper when you have the opportunity. Player down for Atlanta United 2 behind the play. We play on. Another good interception by Atlanta United 2. I believe Kisadu is the player that is down. He's now getting back up and trying to hobble his way back onside. There you go for Atlanta United 2. Ball played at the feet of Dacus. Now Pasher with Kelly and Enevoldsen in front.
Look out.
Needs to play it back to Walker to set things up a bit more. Good recovery by AU2. Again, I've said it before, I'll say it again. They have looked the part tonight. And last week's result, the 5-0 loss, has been more of an anomaly. Even though they've struggled with the results, it's been a lot of 1-0, 2-1 games. They haven't had many blowout losses this year.
Right, and in a game like that gives you a performance like this the next game, because you're embarrassed as a player, you're embarrassed as a staff, your attention to detail in practice is at a higher level, and every now and then you need one of those wake-up calls.
Jose drew the foul. Jose Hernandez will be shown a card. And Jose will be battered and bruised by halftime at this juncture. What do you think of the move for Jose on the right side so far?
Well, I like it. I think anytime you can get him on the field, I think is a value to the club because of his creativity and his touch. Obviously, he's more dangerous on the left, able to serve it more naturally from there. But then you have to figure out where you put Pasher because you got to have him on the field, and you need his pace. And his pace on that left side right now has accumulated 5 goals, 3 game winners here in the last few matches, and so he's the hottest player on the team right now. You got to give him his natural spot, which means Jose has to move.
That ball last touched by an Indy 11 player. Goal kick coming for Atlanta United 2. Fans tune to ESPN News on Wednesday at 8:30 Eastern for the next edition of Wednesday Night Soccer. The battle for the Lone Star State and Copa Tejas continues as El Paso Locomotive takes on San Antonio FC in the Alamo City. Catch all the action Wednesday, 8:30 Eastern on ESPN News.
Good touch.
Kisadu. 3v3 here. Fernando with it. Quick recovery by Indy. The reason they have been so tough to score against Indy has allowed 5 goals in their last 11 matches.
It was great discipline getting back.
Well, there's been tremendous goalkeeper play for Indy, whether it's been Farr or Newton. A lot of the work has been done by the guys in front of those netminders this year. And what's been good to see for the Indy 11 is that has continued in the absence of Neville Hackshaw, who was missing his 3rd consecutive game on national team duty. Depending on things go for TNT tonight against Team USA, we could see Neville back here as soon as next Saturday night for the match against Lou City. Enevoldsen, good takeaway, and draws the foul. We referenced Soccer Saturday a bit earlier in the program. Let's do it again now. It's a good radio show.
I've
heard listened to it.
No, I do listen. I stream it.
Well, thank you. 1070thefan.com. For those of you that live more in the metropolitan Indianapolis area, you can listen on 107.5 FM and 1070 The Fan. How about this? Liverpool legend Ian Rush was on the show this morning. You can, as Brad does, log on to 1070thefan.com and listen to the show anytime. Of course, Liverpool will be playing at Notre Dame Stadium coming up on July 19th. It was nearly 6 years ago that Chelsea played here at Lucas Oil against Inter Milan. Over 40,000 were in attendance that night. Osman races back. Osman, a guest last week on Soccer Saturday. It was a fun conversation. Back post opportunity.
Wow.
Just could not connect. It was Fernando. But that was maybe the best look that Atlanta United 2 have had all night.
Great serve, open player, back post. Looks like he just misjudged the jump.
Yep, it's a great feed by Wild. There have been far too many midfield giveaways for the Indy 11's liking. Flag stays down. Ball played across and Farr.
Great save.
Got him into it.
Great save. No stat for that, but great save. That's a goal if it goes through.
Let's be honest as you'll take a look at the replay.
No, let's be honest. Okay, I'll try.
This is as active, not on this. You're always honest.
Okay.
But this is as active as we've seen an Indy 11 goalkeeper be all season.
Absolutely. He's been tested. And, you know, that may be by design, too, when Atlanta's coming in and saying, hey, okay, they got their backup keeper in there. Let's put him under. You referenced.
Enevoldsen wanted it near post. Pasher went towards the middle. And yet again, another giveaway.
You referenced on the corner kick how they were group defending him, and maybe it was size. It also may be youth. Let's harass him. Let's see if we can get in his head. Give him some challenges. Give him some things that put him under the gun and see if he mishandles any. And, you know, here through 37 minutes, he's been solid.
Onside opportunity here.
Great serve.
Perfectly weighted ball. Okonkwo comes to the middle. Left-footed shot. Yet again, Ouimet. He does a great job of just maintaining his position.
He did, and that was just a young mistake to try and take a bad angle shot with Ouimet on you. You've got Kissidou flashing to the top of the box. Play it across, give him a chance.
Minute number 38 at Lucas Oil. Home fans have seen 3 0-0 draws so far this season. We've also seen 3 Indy 11 wins, 2 of the 1-0 variety, the other of a 2-1 tally. That was 3 weeks ago against Pittsburgh.
This does not have the flavor of a 0-0 draw. I'll be shocked if we wind up with that result.
Weaving through is White.
Oh, what a
Lays
ball.
it across to Wild, looking back post, and again,
wow.
The build-up spectacular for Atlanta, just not the finishing touch.
Yeah, I don't know. On that one, you're blindsided behind Ouimet as that ball's coming across the box, but you got to lay out. You got to try and get a foot or something on that ball back post. That's a goal.
Ouimet was with him stride for stride.
He's with him stride for stride, but you got to see that ball. That you lost 0-5 last week. You haven't won since April 13th. Lay out, put that ball in the net.
This portion of the match presented by the Indiana Economic Development Corporation. Take your business to the next level in a state that works.
Oh, good find.
Kissidou couldn't keep it at his feet. If you're Martin Rennie, what do you want to see change for your team into this half and half number 2?
I like the way that we're playing right now. I think the only thing, I'd be a little bit more cautious on the ball that gets turned over right here in the middle of the field, because there's such pace up front that if you're out of shape defensively because you're looking to find the attacking lanes and you give up the ball and they can punch one into one of these pockets, you're in trouble.
Great sliding effort by Ouimet. He has been his solid self this evening. Remember the New York Red Bulls Montreal Impact, amongst his other stops along the way for the native of Quebec. One of 2 Canadians on the pitch for the Indy 11, Tyler Pasher being the other. Our final 5 minutes presented by your Central Indiana Honda dealers, official automotive sponsor of the Indy 11. Is there a late goal in the offing in half number 1? Barrett tries to find Enevoldsen. Just a bit too strong on the touch. I think if you're Stephen Glass of AU2, you got to be very happy how your team is playing.
Yeah, this time 7 days ago, you were down 3-0 and trying to figure out how to get an early one in the second half to keep some life in the game.
Kissidou. Kissidou was the target that time. Now Kelly in space. Hogba with him step for step. Good shoulder-to-shoulder battle by Kelly. Kelly playing 1v4, waiting for some help. Walker with Iose to his right. Midfield giveaways are surprising to see for the Indy 11 because this group has now played together a lot. Again, the only different wrinkle is Iose on the right side, but again, this is a group that has spent a lot of time together this season. Barrett. Handed away by Dacus. Good job to carve out some space by Gibson. Walker sees Pasher, but saw him about a second too late. That window had closed just a bit. Pasher.
Oh, yes.
Kelly. Again, Kelly factored in the first goal last week against Loudon. It was, I think, properly ruled an own goal at the end of the day, which means that Dane is still sitting on 4 goals this season, has not scored since the end of April.
Yeah, clever little run here from Dane Kelly. Kind of flashes behind, shows behind Dacus, and then cuts in front of him. Great serve.
All of his goals have come away from home. All-time leading goal scorer in the USL Championship was 71. He's on a drought now that's sitting on nearly 2 months. Would think we'd be looking at a minimal amount of stoppage time at this point. That will be a throw in here for Indy. Oh, the extended break was for the knock of the knee on Ioze. Good find by far. And now Ioze has space. Wants to get to that left foot and does so successfully. A slide for Walker, but
I think Kenny Walker didn't think that one was for him. I thought he was a dummy run for Ina Voltson.
Quick counter here by Atlanta. Kisadu couldn't get it past Osmond, but the ball settles. Wyke couldn't find an angle.
Ouimet.
Again.
Carl Ouimet.
It will be a 4th corner for Atlanta United too.
Do you know how hard that is to do what he just did? When the shot was shown at the better shooting angle, that's the time to bite. He didn't bite. The next touch was put on, goes to a worse shooting angle, and he's ready for that ball because he didn't bite on the first fake.
Corner to be taken by Luis Fernando. Fernando does have an assist this year for Atlanta United too. Wyke sends it in. Ball settles, and eventually Ina Voltson clears it. And Osmond will happily watch that go across the touchline for an 11th throw-in. Stay tuned. Coming up at halftime, we'll talk to that man, head coach Martin Running. Show you the out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by Crown Plaza Union Station. And we'll also show you what one of the original members of the Indy 11 front office is up to these days. All coming up at halftime, and you see on the screen 2 minutes of added time before we exit stage left for half number 1. Gibson survives the jersey tuck. Second one of those we've seen from Atlanta United too tonight. Walker having a conversation with our match referee. There have been some professional fouls tonight by Atlanta United too. A team whose average age this year has been 22 years of age.
That's incredible.
Osmond played that ball forward thinking Pasher was making a run. He was not. Castanera will have to venture outside the 18 to make the play, with Kelly giving some level of pressure. Kim and Ioze able to walk the tightrope to each other.
Yeah.
Dying seconds now of the half. If you get an attack going forward, you may have a chance if you're Indy.
Oh.
And that foul probably just about does the end of the half. Kim offers a hand to the offended party in Gordon Wild.
I've been impressed with Wild. He's been dangerous.
And again, Wild, a native of Germany, but played at the University of Maryland. Of course, perennial soccer powerhouse now in the Big Ten. Again, he is on an Atlanta United contract. This is his 8th appearance for AU2 this season. You'd imagine one touch and we'll be done. Not yet. A glance at the wristwatch says now we're done. So an evenly played first half between two teams that up until tonight had been going in opposite directions. The Indy 11 have not lost in their last 7. Atlanta United 2 have lost their last 2 and haven't won since early April. They have been level par so far.
Yeah, I think if you're Atlanta, you like what you see. If you're Indy, you're happy with where you're at because you've been dangerous, but you got some concerns because you've given more opportunities than you would have hoped at this time.
Can that man on your screen, Mr. Full 90 and Tyler Pasher, find another second half goal to help lead the Indy 11 to a victory? We'll find out in a few moments. First halftime comes your way from Lucas Oil Stadium. 0-0 between Indy 11 and Atlanta United 2.